Hey friends, it's Dr. Laura Ritchie. I get asked a lot, how do I cook healthy? What does that look like? So we're stuck inside. Let's have a little cooking show together. Might as well, right? So tonight we're making a couple things. We're making a bok choy stir fry, which is so yummy. We're getting lots of healthy greens in. We're gonna do a little bit of our sprouted tri-colored rice. We're gonna do some Alaska cod fillets in the Instant Pot. We're gonna throw it all together. I'm gonna make a homemade tartar sauce. We're gonna do all the things. So grab a cup of tea or water, whatever is your jam, and we are gonna dive in. First thing, I've already washed my hands. Wash your hands, everybody, just wash your hands. But we're gonna soak our bok choy. So I'm gonna fill up this thing with a little bit of water, a little bit of On Guard foaming hand soap, a couple pumps is gonna go in there, a couple drops of our lemon essential oil, and we are just gonna soak all of this for 10 minutes to really soak our greens. Now I was lucky, I was able to find some bok choy when I went to Natural Grocers this week. That was a huge blessing, but we're just gonna soak all of this, soak your produce, right? I think that's really important. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes. There we go. Our greens are gonna be soaking. We're gonna get that ready to go. While that is soaking, we're actually going to get the Instant Pot going with our frozen cod. If you don't have an Instant Pot, get an Instant Pot. It's so good. They are magical. I asked for one for Valentine's Day last February, and it was the best gift that keeps on giving. So it allows you to make meals really quickly. So with this, when we turn our Instant Pot on, we actually just add a cup of water. There's a little rack inside, so you're gonna put the rack in. And then what we're gonna do is just cut open our fish fillets. This is the tricky process because it's frozen. So you have to kind of get a little, gotta really get after it here. There we go. So once you kind of find a hole, you just go with it. And you get those fish fillets out. And what I love about the Instant Pot is you can cook from frozen to done in about 6 minutes, which is magical. Now, Mark does not like most fish. He's our camera guy tonight, but he doesn't. Now, he will eat cod because it's not a really fishy taste. Kind of tastes a little bit more like chicken, and he'll also eat it when we put a tartar sauce with it. So fish is really high in omega-3 fatty acids, which are really important right now. So think brain health. A lot of people are eating a lot of things that are really high in omega-6 fatty acids. And ideally we should have a 1-to-1 ratio, but in America we have more of like a 1-to-15 ratio. So when we can add in more things like wild caught fish, or adding in walnuts or different things, those are gonna be great sources, or like a clean fish oil, like in our Lifelong Vitality Pack. These are gonna be really helpful. Think brain health, joint health, anything like that as we continue. This is the hardest part, honestly, is just getting it out of the packaging. Ha-ha! Okay, we throw it in there. And then now we just take our lid, pop that on, we seal it, and then down here we do pressure cook, and we do only for about 6 minutes, and that's it. Set it and forget it, so that makes it really easy. And then we just move on to our next thing. So I'm gonna throw this away. That's gonna do its magic. It's gonna take some time to heat up the contents inside, and then it'll start the 6-minute timer there. Our rice is very chatty. Let's check in and see how that's doing. So this is actually really easy. We just did about 1 3/4 cups of water, a cup of rice, brought that to a boil, and then we just let it simmer on low for about 30 minutes, and I've already started that timer here. So it's nice to have lots of timers in the kitchen. Over here in our skillet, we have some mushrooms. So I wasn't able to find fresh mushrooms this week at the store, but I have some frozen ones, and I'm just letting this on low start to kind of heat up and thaw my mushrooms here, and we'll come back to those. So we've got that going for our stir fry. Now, I cut the bok choy. You can save the pieces, especially in this time where we're at. If you have any vegetable scraps, carrots, celery, bok choy, whatever, save those in a frozen Ziploc bag and throw them in the freezer because you can use those for bone broth. So save all of those things. Save bones if you're doing anything. Okay, I'm gonna chop up this red onion. Now, doTERRA showed a cool life hack with On Guard of if you open it up and you smell it, you don't cry as much when you're cutting onions. So let's try it. Gotta try it. So we're just gonna let that waft into our area. So we know On Guard is the protective blend. Really, it's become the toilet paper oil of doTERRA right now with everything that's going on. We're gonna use it for chopping onions and see kind of what that looks like. So I like to just kind of have a little bag kind of near me when I'm cooking, but we're gonna start to take the peel off, right? Peel that onion. It'll be interesting to see with the On Guard what it kind of does. And then what I do is I cut it in half, and then I take one side and I just do little slices like so. Isn't Mark doing a great job? Let's give him some hearts for being a camera guy on a Saturday for us. And then I move to the side and I just start to dice these. Be careful with your fingers. Little known fact, Mark actually was an official camera guy for one of the news stations. He did that in college on summer, right?
That's right.
So he's like legit. He's professional. So I just kind of go through, and then sometimes I'll just like, if I see big pieces, I'll just start to cut those open like so. So we're just gonna dice this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just kind of get that going. We'll do the same on this side. I don't know, maybe my On Guard's not close enough to me. I still feel it a little bit. The other hack that I heard was putting a drop on the tongue. So let me try that. Because I'm feeling it. So we'll move it closer to us as we chop the onions. If you have any hacks for not to tear up with the onions, let us know. I was actually really lucky to find an onion. When I grabbed, there was only 2 onions left when I went to Natural Grocers, and I was able to find one. I left the other one for somebody else, right? We only need to take what we need during this time. There's no need to hoard, but especially when you can grab things like onions really high in sulfur, there's a lot of really great benefits to eating our onions. And then we're just gonna carefully start chopping these guys up. Get this ready to go. Let me know where you're watching from, how you're doing, or is everybody hanging in with all of the stuff? I will say for me, cooking is very calming. It's almost a meditative process for me. So it's nice to have that on hand. All right, so we got our onions. They're pretty loosely chopped in here right now. So I'm gonna go take them over to the skillet and we'll pop those in. I'll probably turn the heat up just a little bit as our mushrooms are starting to thaw. Get that going in here for our stir fry. And I also made homemade bone broth earlier. So there is a cooking tab in the highlight section of my bio, and you can see how I make bone broth, but I love to add bone broth to just about anything that I'm cooking. So I'm gonna put a little bit of bone broth in here. It has a lot of health benefits, very high in minerals and nutrients. I'm just gonna turn this up a little bit to kind of get this going, get these onions simmering and cooking up here. But bone broth is really great to help heal leaky gut. And a lot of people who are struggling with health issues are struggling with a leaky gut situation. So we know that the gut is the gateway to our immune system and our health. And as we lay off the inflammatory foods like gluten, dairy, and sugar, then we can start to heal that. So I love homemade bone broth. We do it a lot. It's been kind of a staple for us lately. So we'll crank up the heat here. Oh, hey, Kelly. Hey, Peppy, it's good to see you. You're at the lake? Oh, awesome. Mark will have to tell me the comments as they come in so I can see them. Okay, real life, I don't know. I must have done that hack wrong because like, can you see the tears? Like, oh man. Wow, we are ugly crying on Instagram. It's just onions, so let's wash our hands. I feel like that's what we're all doing a ton of, and we're gonna get a Kleenex and just address this because, wow, that's fun. Real life in the kitchen. So there we go. Here I have a napkin. See those napkins, Chipotle napkins. So on Fridays we go to Chipotle. I really love Chipotle. You can eat a lot of, you can get a lot of non-GMO stuff there. And if you don't get a tortilla, you're eating gluten-free. So we actually do salads on Friday night. Now a lot of the restaurants are closed, but you can call in so you can order on the app and have that on hand there. But yeah, I didn't know that we were gonna cry in this moment. I'll have to tell doTERRA. Must have done something wrong. The on guard trick didn't work for me. I'll have to try it again. But I'm just gonna kind of double check some things here. We've got this going, so our onions are going. We've turned up the heat a little bit. We'll get those cooking nice for us. And then hopefully our timer should be done soon with the bok choy. We're gonna chop that up. I love bok choy. It's one of my favorite greens. So if you don't like really bitter greens like kale or arugula, you can maybe start with bok choy a little bit. And then instead of soy sauce, we're gonna do coconut aminos because this is gluten-free and tastes really amazing. We're gonna do a little bit of our sesame oil. Oh, haha. Alexa, turn timer off. What do we do before Alexa in technology? Okay, so we're gonna drain our bok choy. We're just gonna give it a little rinse too. So I have a little like drying mat that I kind of like keep up here. We'll just rinse it all off, kind of lay it here. And then we'll start to slice up our bok choy. But it's good to soak your produce. Really good to soak your produce, even if it's organic. And I get this question a lot too. If it's not organic, does soaking it make it better? You know, a lot of things are genetically modified. My recommendation is to always purchase organic when you can. So I'll let some of this dry and I'm just gonna like give it a little shake. We're gonna come over here and start to get things going. Oh, so you can see here in the Instant Pot, it's still starting to raise that internal temperature a little bit for our fish, but that is working as well. So over here, we're just gonna start slicing up our bok choy.
Well, Pebby says this is looking really good.
Oh, thanks, Pebby. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. I love bok choy stir fry, and it's just a really yummy leafy green. So the funny thing when you're cooking with greens is they're gonna shrink up. So we're gonna start with a lot, and when we finish, it's gonna look like we actually didn't have a lot, but you'll see there's quite a bit of leafy greens in here. So eat your leafy greens right now, especially right now. These are so great to boost the immune system, great source of calcium, great source of vitamins and minerals. Add them in, green smoothies, wherever you can get those. If you can't find greens where you're at, fresh greens, then do frozen. I stocked up on some frozen kale and spinach and a couple greens too. So this is a season where we just do the very best that we can. There's interesting things going on that are kind of out of our control. So we do the very best we can with what we can control. Isn't bok choy pretty? I just think it's pretty. So we'll slice all this up. And I usually wait to put the bok choy in at the very end. So we're gonna cook up the onions a little bit, let that go. Oh, so you can see here our Instant Pot, the 6 minutes has started. So it does take a little bit of time for that to start to get to that ideal place, but then it'll go. So now we've got bone broth in here. We're cooking up our onions. So I like to kind of let those onions heat up a little bit. We've got mushrooms. Mushrooms are great for the immune system. Eat more mushrooms. Mark doesn't like mushrooms, but I love mushrooms, so. We're gonna do that. Yeah, bok choy. Yeah, bok choy. It is awesome. Get you some. Okay, so we're gonna let that continue cooking. What I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna start to add in a little bit of our coconut aminos. I get pretty liberal with this. And it bothers people when they watch me, but I don't measure stuff. I just toss a bunch of stuff in. Oh, so garlic. I wasn't able to find fresh garlic at Natural Grocers, but I did find this on the shelf. So we do the very best that we can. We're gonna add that in. Grab a little spoon. So garlic is another great immune booster right now. So this is a teaspoon. I don't know. I just grabbed a bunch and we just dump it in there, and it's so good. So we're gonna let all this cook up with our bone broth. We got our coconut aminos, which is basically like a soy sauce. And then I like to add a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. So you want the actual sea salt, the pink or the Celtic sea salt, not the iodized. I just kind of look at that a little bit. So these are trace minerals. Sea salt's really great to support the adrenal glands as well. This is looking really good. This is all kind of cooking up.
Oh, Jason doesn't like mushrooms either, so he's got my back.
Jason doesn't like mushrooms? Oh no, what? Jason, come on, Jason. Mushrooms are so good for you. They're so good for your immune system right now. Okay, let's throw in the greens. Look how pretty. It's a great time while we're stuck inside to cook. So, looks like we have a ton of greens. These are all gonna shrink down pretty quickly. But we just start to kind of add those in. I'll let these cook for a little bit. So I'm gonna put the lid on here. We're gonna check and see how our rice is doing. Oh, rice is looking pretty good. Nice. Okay, what else we will do is I'll put a little bit of some sesame oil on top, maybe a little bit of coconut oil or coconut aminos here in just a little bit. So the other thing that I'm gonna do is make a tartar sauce for our cod, because our cod is almost done. Now we make two different kinds because Mark does not like pickles. And I do. So I'm the nice wife. I'll make two options. So we wanna grab an upgraded mayonnaise, if you will. So if you can find, I'll show you two that I really like. I'm gonna grab some tools. So for the cod, this is Sir Kensington's mayonnaise. This is an organic mayonnaise. Or Primal Kitchen is another one. You just want to look for a better brand, if you will. And then we're actually going to use our essential oils for this, and some relish for me, because I like relish. A little bit of sea salt, and then I'm going to grab lemon essential oil. And it is so good. So we are going to put a little bit of this in each. So Mark's is really just mainly going to be a little bit of mayonnaise and a little bit of lemon essential oil. So 1 to 2 drops will do ya. You don't need a ton. And then a little bit of dill. If you're lucky enough to get dill essential oil, do it. Dill is so good. If you don't, just use the dill that you have in your spice cabinet, right? So 1 to 2 drops. I do a little bit of our sea salt. Just eyeball, do it to taste. And then what we'll do is a little bit of our Bubby's relish for me. Now this is good because this has probiotics in it. Eat more fermented foods. Sauerkraut, kimchi, Bubby's relish, like this is so good. So we mix it up. And this is our tartar sauce that tastes so yummy. We're gonna put it on our cod.
Yeah, Peppy, I am a little picky, yeah. Guilty.
Make a special one just for him. He's cute though. He's doing a good job as camera guy. So this will be Mark's sauce for his fish. So lots of healthy fats in here as well. Don't fear fat, fat's your friend. We just want the right kinds of fat with that. All right, tartar sauces are done. Let's see how our greens are looking. Ooh. Oh man, this is looking good. So this is our stir fry. It's got our mushrooms. I'm gonna turn the temp down just a little bit, but that looks so good. Yummy. Too bad we don't have smell vision on Instagram. So I'm gonna turn this down a hair. All right. Ooh, how's that for perfect timing? Man, did I time that well. So the cod is done. The beautiful thing about the Instant Pot is it will just hang out for you there. It'll just keep everything warm while we're waiting on other things. So we've got our stir fry here. And what I'm gonna do with our stir fry is add a little bit of our toasted sesame oil. So I just kind of for flavor. And maybe a little bit more coconut aminos. I love me some coconut aminos, so might as well. And then this has garlic and bone broth and onions and mushrooms and bok choy and like all of these amazing things that taste so good. So we're just gonna keep this on warm until we're all ready for the rest of our dinner. And then our rice is almost done too.
Peppy says you got to keep the camera guys fed and happy. So.
We do. We do have to keep the camera guys fed and happy.
Thanks, Peppy.
This is true. I tried to do a video yesterday of doing the laundry, and Mark wasn't home, and I was doing it myself, and it's hard to do the camera and everything by yourself. So we're very grateful to him. We got 4 minutes left on our rice, so that is just about done. The rice looks really good, and again, I just followed the instructions with this. All we did was we did 1 3/4 cup of water, a cup of rice to boil. We just tightened it, reduced the heat, and let it simmer for 30 minutes. And then you can remove it from heat. You can just let it steam for 10 minutes and just kind of fluff it with a fork. So this is all really, really simple. The rice is gluten-free. You could also do a quinoa if you're sensitive to grains. Quinoa is more of a seed, not a grain. So that's another option. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get the fish going. So what's gonna happen? Let's get a tool. I used to have a little guy. We're just gonna be careful. There's like a special tool to go like, nope, to release the valve when it's done. We're just going like crazy here. Okay, real life. We're gonna use this. So we're gonna open it up, it's gonna be loud, and I'm gonna throw the towels on top because of the steam. Here we go. There we go. And then you wait until it's all done, and there's a little valve on the side that'll drop, and then it's safe to open up your Instant Pot, and we can show you what the cod looks like because it's really, really yummy. Now rice is almost done. I'm gonna save some of these mushrooms. We'll put them back in the freezer to save for another time. And then the finishing touch over here of our stir fry is we're gonna top with a little bit of sesame seeds. Oh, so yummy. Okay, so here we go with that. How pretty is that? That's our bok choy stir fry. Easy peasy. So that is ready to go. Lots of veggies, lots of greens, all of the things. It didn't take us long. Or it doesn't feel like it's been long. Maybe it feels like it's been long for you. So see, there's the pin. Oop, and it just dropped. And that's when you know, when the pin drops, that it is safe to open up your Instant Pot. So we're gonna open that up.
Yes, Peppy, missed the March Madness.
I know, we do miss March Madness. See, this is the most exciting thing to watch right now. Watch us cook. Okay, so we open it up. What's cool about the Instant Pot is you can actually rest it on the side, and then you gotta show them the cod. Mmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yum. Fresh fish. Okay, so that is done. We can even start plating this if we want, so we can grab, right, safety first, getting the fish out. The tricky part is so it doesn't crumble. But I mean, what do we do before Instant Pots? So this will be Mark's. He's got his special tartar sauce over here. I know Mark's gonna want some rice. So, and it's about that time, so we'll take it off the heat. We'll fluff it up with a little fork. We'll let it do its magic, and you can put some rice on there too. I can make a plate for me, but I think it's a misconception that eating healthy has to take a ton of time. It really doesn't. It can be pretty quick. I mean, honestly, by the time you hop in the car and drive somewhere and order and pick up stuff, you can make some really healthy meals from home. All right, so here's our stir fry. Oh, here's our timer for the rice. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, and then let's get our cod out. Oh, come back, little guy. To get every last piece of goodness. Okay.
I think Leanne says she has a small appliance addiction, just like you do.
Oh, do you? Yes. It's so good. Oh, hi, Leanne. Okay. I made too much tartar sauce, but that's okay because we have more fish in the freezer. This is the time where we're eating everything in our freezer. We'll just put it on like that. We got our greens. We're gonna have some rice here in a little bit. That's what we're having for dinner. Thank you for joining us on Cooking with the Richies. We hope that you have a wonderful Saturday night. We wish that we weren't social distancing because we would just have you over for food, but we'll just have to share virtually. Should we try it out? Should we try some of the cod? Cod is so good. So good. And I love the lemon and the dill. It's not polite for me to talk with my mouth open. I'm gonna try the bok choy. So good. All right, you have to try this. If you try it, let us know. We love our Instant Pot. This is how we're getting stuff done. Special thanks to Mark for being our cameraman. We're gonna plate this rice here and all that stuff and go sit down and have dinner. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.